Peace and blessings. My heart is going 100 miles per hour because look who I have in the building. Brother Chase.
Hey, man.
Beard Gang in the building.
Beard Gang.
Big Sexy is in the building. How you been, brother?
I've been blessed.
That's a blessing. You have a lot going on, new album.
Yeah.
Would you first care to tell the people about your album and what are your plans for your album?
Yeah, so the album is called Still Standing. And boy, man, so the first one that I did was actually last year in October. I dropped it as a dedication to my grandmother who had passed away in 2020.
Wow. Yes, sir.
And it was sort of like a self-produced thing. It was like a passion project. It was something that I did to, as a tribute to her, but it was also like a promise I made myself so that I would follow through with it and push to make sure that I didn't get distracted or, that I saw it through to fruition, right?
Okay.
And 2 weeks after I dropped that album, my mother passed away.
Wow. Condolences. Wow.
Yeah. And so because I was already in the rhythm of making music for that last album, I just kept going because it became like a real cathartic process of just writing about my feelings. And rather than go to therapy, I just wrote about it. And at that time, because of all that was happening, like the studio I had at my house, like we were in the process of moving, and I broke the studio down to move. And so I ended up having to go to another studio to record the new album,
right?
And ended up going to Rucco Media.
Man, come on, Ricky Ruckus.
Right.
Man, that's an OG in the city. Big
Yes,
shout out to. We'll talk about him later, but give that brother his flowers.
Yes, sir. All day. So I went there with him and locked in with Rick, and it was kind of like something I'd always wanted to do, like almost like a bucket list project because of just what all he's done. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm still, even though I've been around a long time, like I'm really just getting rolling.
Getting
you
your
know
feet
what I mean?
wet. Right.
And so he, I locked in with him, and on January 2nd of this year, I started recording it. I did the first song, Still Standing.
That song goes hard, man.
And like that was I think that was like the first song I wrote after my mom had died.
Wow.
And yeah, man, I just started going to him like every couple of weeks, and we'd lock in, and I'd do some more writing. I'd go in with, I found one. I thought, oh yeah, this one, I got to record this one, and I did that one, and the album just started shaping itself. I didn't have like a certain number in mind of songs I wanted to put on it. I just started working, and finally, like Memorial Day was the last session I did, and we finished it. But I didn't even know at that time. What was crazy was because I didn't know at that time that that was going to be the last session, because I still thought I maybe had a couple more songs to do. But once I went home, and it was weird because that same day, Rick told me he was moving to L.A.
Big shout out to Ricky and his big move in Los Angeles. Right.
And so it was like, if you're going to get something, he was like, if you're going to get it done, you got to catch me next 2 weeks because I'm out of here. And I was like,
he don't play, does he?
No, he does not.
Rick, let me give Ricky his flowers real back. Ricky and I go way back. Him and Kenny G and Gluey, like they've been on the grind so long. Ricky, I see you, brother. I'm proud of you, man. I know your struggles. I know what your success is. Let me tell you why people think Ricky is arrogant or he's this, because Ricky don't play. He's about his business. Right. We recorded my daughter's song called Catalina with Bam. Big shout out to Bam. And he got in there. And people know Ricky as an artist will slay anybody. Like lyrically, bars, he's been doing that for years.
Yes.
But they don't understand his engineering, intellectual gift.
Right.
We hear about the greats like Choke, the Dave Rollins, Chris Correa and all them. But I think people need to focus on how great Ricky is. And I have a two-part question. Still Standing, what's that about? And how great was it working with Ricky, his engineering process?
And first of all, Rick's engineering skills is second to none.
Amazing.
And his mix, second to none. I've never sounded this good in life.
Right.
Like my regular talking voice in the world doesn't sound as good as what Rick does.
Man, it made me want to rap. Yeah,
right,
okay,
man.
okay.
Hey, and Still Standing is about, it's not just my mother. It's a tribute to my mother, but it's about my journey over the last 6 years, and really a little bit before, but mainly in the last 6 years of my life, where it was just like hurdle after hurdle thing. I moved out of state for like a year to change careers, and when I was there, like I felt like, man, because I'm in this position where I'm holding my whole family down. There was some stuff going on, and it was like, I don't know if I'm gonna ever be able to do music like I wanted to. I mean, this might be it for me. And where I was at was not really a place like how, at least where we're at here in North Carolina, like there is a scene, a music scene, an industry, you know, albeit maybe smaller than other places, but where I was, it was not that kind of environment. And I was just like, man, if I ever get back to North Carolina, I'm gonna go super hard. And it was a journey. And in that journey, man, we lost a baby in 2018.
You and your wife?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow, I'm sorry. God.
Yeah, and then,
losing the baby. I'm sorry about that.
In 2018, we lost a baby. It was early in the pregnancy, but it was a real traumatic event that happened. And you know, there was that, and then my wife dealing with some you know, things, postpartum issues and things like that. And you know, at that point, it was very little outside contact from a lot of, you know, family and friends from the past. It was just us, and it was like, you know, it was just rough. It was rough, but like, and in 2020, you know, we had the pandemic, and then maybe 2-3 months after the pandemic started, my grandmother, who was like always my angel, she passed away. And I mean, she was, you know, 87, 88 years old, so it wasn't like a tragic thing, but to me, it was just a blow. Right. 9 months later, her husband, my grandfather, died. Wow. And that was in 2021. And then in a year and a half later, in 2022, my mom. So it's like hit after hit after hit after hit, on top of just, you know, what was going on in the world at the time. Right. And that's why I call it still standing, because it's like I keep taking hits, and, you know, tell me why I'm taking hits while I'm still trying to get a grip. Like that's the you know what I'm saying?
Powerful song.
Yeah, man.
If you could look in that camera right there in front of us. Yeah. What would you say to your mother, your grandmother, and your grandfather, if they can hear you right now? What would you say to them in that camera?
I know that y'all have something to do with where my life is right now, from where you're at right now. I can see you, and I love you.
Amen. That's powerful.
Yeah.
Brother, sometimes when I get warmed up for the day, or my wife and I, we have a business, a tree business, I listen to country music, right? Yeah. There's a song that made me think about you, what you just said. Randy Travis, He Walks on Water, right, baby? That's him giving a tribute to his great-grandfather or father. And we are grandparents. Yeah. So we know the love. I love my children. We love our children, right, wifey? But I think our grandbabies, it's a unique kind of love. So I'm looking ahead in the future. The love you're talking about your grandfather, that's powerful.
Yeah, man. I'm going to give you something crazy.
Okay.
This is how everything seems to be working right now. It's crazy how the universe works. You just mentioned Randy Travis, right?
Yeah, I love him.
And I know you saw from my album promo that I dropped that you saw. Okay. And you saw my mother was a singer too.
Man, I have a million questions about that.
So her and Randy Travis were managed by the same person. Man, they started out together in the 80s. Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yes. They were very, when I say close collaborators, like I said, Randy Travis's wife managed him and my mother. Right. So they did all the same circuit, I guess you would say, back in them days. So,
let me give you your credit. The look I like about you, brother, that you have the beard, you can be rapping, and the next time you could be on a country music video singing like Luke Combs or some of those, man. So, it's so Still Standing to me is like almost an anthem that anybody through struggle couldn't appreciate. So we appreciate you for putting that out. Yeah. My question is now, what do you want to do with your music? There's a million artists. Is this something that you want to do as a career? Is this something you just want to do for entertainment, for yourself? What are your goals?
I mean, but people ask me this a lot. For me, like it is big or small as you want to call it. For me, the ability to be able to do something that I love and would do for free.
Man, what?
Something that I love and would be able to do for free, but to get paid and make a living doing that.
Man, what?
That's the dream. That's the American dream for me, man. Like, I would love to see it go as big as it could possibly go. But the main thing is I want to touch people, because I feel like, by telling my story, there's people that, and this isn't me saying this, my wife was the one that told me this. Shout out my wife. That no matter what our difference is, and we live in a time right now in the world where our differences are on spotlight right now, and not
preach,
and not our similarities and things that do draw us together and make us the same. We are more the same than we care to believe, even though the news would have you think different.
Right.
But if I can share my raw emotions, my raw uncut emotions, feelings, experiences, and things, it might show you that you may not be from my background, you may not be maybe racially the same as me or demographically the same as me or whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, if you got a heart and it hurts when it feels pain, and mine does too, we are the same. And if you hear my music and you hear that experience, it might remind you of something you went through. It might help you get through something that you experienced that was hurting your heart too. So
right.
That's the main thing, man. It's all about helping people and connecting with people. We are connected more than we've ever been right now, like because of technology, but we are not connected as human beings as we used to be. We are disconnected.
Wow.
And music has always been something that brought people together. Music, entertainment, sports brought the masses together. We rally around heroes. You know what I mean?
Listen, he said the spotlight. I just want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Jason. We are Winston. This is Winston-Salem Apparel.
Yeah.
If I knew that, baby, if I knew what he had on, I would have worn a blue shirt, right? Jason, go check him out at the flea market. He sponsored the show. The spotlight is real. Now, trying to give spotlight to one thing, I have a reaction channel.
Yeah.
Right? And so on Wednesdays, I do what's called White Wednesdays, where I celebrate white artists in a positive light, right? Yeah. And some people at first, what's funny, baby, we're laughing, my wife's laughing. I think she's a black woman, beautiful black Cherokee woman, right?
Shout out.
So my pale, sexy self.
Yeah.
So I have White Wednesdays, right? And we highlight white artists. And then on Thursdays, for the older black music, we have called what's Throw Black Thursdays. And then we have what's called Bring Black Thursdays back. And so the channel's been catching so much traction with the little 6,000 viewers, right?
Yeah.
From all over the world, that people are like, hey, we need a Taiwanese Tuesdays. We need a Mongolian Mondays, right? They messing with me. But it's really getting a lot of love. At first, when I was on Facebook, people were like, oh, White Wednesdays. It's almost like the climate now, being a white male, people feel like you're censored or you automatically got to defend yourself. Being a white artist in hip hop, have you ever had any experience of people giving you a hard time, or has it been all love?
Honestly, the most pushback I ever had from my music was from my own mom.
Okay.
But other than that, most everybody either are willing to check it out or give it a chance. They may have preconceived notions. They don't generally tell me that.
Right.
But, I haven't had a whole lot of pushback, really. I've probably gotten, I know I have had a few experiences where people expected it not to be, and I'm not saying this.
Expected you to be weak.
Yeah, expected it to be weak going into it. Like,
play below the rim.
Right. And I'm not trying to say this like to big my own self up. I'm just saying every time they were always like, "Wow, really?"
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm like,
but you got soul, brother. And and soul is, my wife and I talk about this all the time. Soul is felt.
Yeah.
It's not dealt, meaning that you can feel it, right? And so people, like, I can only imagine Ricky's thoughts about you when you got in the studio. Casino Dollars, man.
Yeah, man. Casino
Dollars. How you and my brother know each other? Like,
it's a crazy story.
He's an Aries. Big shout out to the Rams. Yeah.
It's a crazy story, man. So I used to work with his cousin when I worked for the city of Winston-Salem years and years ago.
Okay.
And he had told me about him, and he had actually he had sort of explained, he's like, you and him are very similar in the way that y'all are both like really driven artists, but y'all are nothing alike personality-wise. Y'all might would clash. Right. And that's what he said. He said, y'all are nothing alike. He said, you're real, kind of, I don't know what he meant, but he said sensitive. And he said, and he's like very, kind of more of an aggressive person or whatever.
Oh, he's aggressive.
Yeah. He's
aggressive.
Yeah.
He'll knock your block off. And I was known for that too back then, but I'm very sensitive too. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, but I just one day, after years and years of sort of paying attention from social media and stuff, I always paid attention to like artists from my city, just, Because they say that, I had this line in another song that said, they say my city's got too many haters. I say we got too many great ones.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
And you from Trey 4 originally?
I'm from Winston, yeah.
Trey 4 or Winston? I'm
Trey
from
4 stand up, Winston-Salem. I'm from, I grew up on right on the county line of Davidson Forsyth.
Okay, so
right there.
Yes.
But I've lived in the city longer than I've lived outside the city, if that makes sense.
I just did a review about Kenny Cocaine and Block Boy Rello's song, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a certified stepper. And I really have said this over the years when I was doing my Foaming at the Mouth DVD. Big shout out to Israel Mills and Angry Man. Angry Man just reached 500,000 subscribers. He does the YouTube full-time. Big shout out to them. The reason I bring that, when we were doing the Foaming at the Mouth DVD, and this is no disrespect to New York, California, anywhere, I would put the top 50 in Winston against the top 50 in anywhere in the world. Mm. And brother, that would be a dope show, wouldn't it? Like almost a Fight Club kind of concept. Yeah. But what do you think? Give me some of your artists in Winston that motivate you that you think are dope.
I'm going to have to say the one that has had the most impact would be GP Moneybags.
Man, what?
That is my dude, man. He has been, when I say A1 since day one, since like GP and me were clicked immediately.
Right.
I had and also Chris Lewis.
Man,
Chris Lewis is another artist that I've known since he was like a teenager.
Right.
And just watching what he does, and obviously Rick kind of goes without saying because he's like the GOAT.
Right. Him, Kenny G, Louis.
Yeah, all the AOG and definitely Casino Dollars. And I actually feel like Casino Dollars don't really get his flowers either.
Of course not, because a lot of people don't understand him.
Yeah, but I mean,
he's dope. His music is dope.
Well, it's real. It's honest music, and that's where me and him. You know what I'm saying? That's where the sense got made.
Right.
With me and him. He actually featured on my first album.
Okay.
We had a crazy song called Heart on Fire on the Alta album. Y'all look that up. Heart on Fire, Chase Elliot featured Casino Dollars. And then when I was rounding out the album, that last studio session I did on Memorial Day, I asked him to, pull up, and he did. We did that song in the studio together. Wow. Came so far off the new album. And it's just been, since then, man, he has always been consistent. He's always pulled up and showed love, and he didn't have to. And I have to say, based on what his cousin told me years ago, I had to call Cap because, it worked out just fine, man.
Wow.
And that's a real one, and I appreciate him for everything.
I'm going to ask you your thoughts about writing that song about your mother. Could you really delve deep into that? What was your concept? And before I do that, please hand me this picture right here, sir. You don't have to turn the camera off. Camera's on. I usually do this at the beginning of the show. Without my mother, there would be no me, none of my children or my grandbabies. Look at this beautiful lady. That is my mother when she was young. I'll hand that back to you.
Is that you as a baby?
No, actually, people always ask, I got to crop that baby out. Who the hell was she holding? No, that's one of the nieces and nephews at the time, but Betty Spillman, Where Would the World Be Without You? I want to give a shout out to my wife's mother, because without her mother, I wouldn't have such a lovely wife that puts up with me. Wally, how hard am I to put up with? People know, he's so nice, he's so patient. They don't know the other fiery side of me. She's whispering, talking junk. But please, if you wouldn't mind, I know it's a touchy subject, would you please share with us what were your thoughts after losing your mother and writing that song and tribute it to your mother?
Well, I mean, the whole album itself is really a tribute to her. I mean, if you, I don't know if you've had a chance to hear it, but the last song on the album is called You Ain't Around.
No, I only got to the first three.
Okay, when you listen to You Ain't Around.
Okay.
And I will give you time to go dry your eyes, because it's one of them. If you think Still Standing is like that, listen to the last song on the album. That last song on the album, I talked directly to my mother, unfiltered.
Could we pull it up now?
Please,
okay.
Please, yeah.
So where is it on YouTube? Where is it?
Yeah, it's on every streaming platform there is. YouTube, Apple Music. This one is for my mama. This one, man.
Are you sick of having issues with your webinars, wasting tons of time on troubleshooting with attendees?
No, no, this is it.
No, I didn't hear this one.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I know they wonder why I cried so hard. I know they probably think I never really tried so hard. But it was all war, yours and mine and God. Stretching back to the old days, times were hard. All the years I could have pulled up and tried to spark a bright new start. I knew it'd be a fight regardless. I just didn't want a fire to start. But you were always here, deep inside my heart. So much I wish I could have said, but I could never get a word in. I flinched every time you said God, then you cursed him. Late night, high school days, speech slurring. Was I such a bad kid? I could never be certain.
Man, I love that sample, brother.
It's wild, I can still remember your smile, but not when I seen it last year. It's been a little while, but what I didn't understand then is simpler now, and what I couldn't seem to grasp then, I'm getting it now. In the old days, I'm missing them now. I'm talking back before the flipping out, when I was just an innocent child. I remember it, how you were so different. Wow, to be a widow that young, you seemed to figure it out. No matter what, we never did without. You made sure of that. Fed me, clothed me, nice home we were living at. You would come home exhausted, feet hurting. 2 and 3 jobs at a time, just keep working. Try to find peace, no luck, just keep searching. Maybe have a couple drinks each night and sleep worse. Look, you held me tight cause I was all you had left of a husband you survived in death. Even 10 years later, I still seen it in your eyes. You wept, clutched the pillow every night as you slept. See, I wasn't your husband, but sometimes I filled that void. Expectations of a man, but I was still that boy. And in some ways I'm still that boy, but in order to survive I had to kill that boy. And what I once saw as a mom that's overbearing was nothing more than a broken parent. And the trauma you went through was so apparent, which manifested in the need to control me and hold me there. Yeah, it wasn't fair, but I get it. So it was better that I loved you from a distance. Struggled with forgiveness, flooded with resentment. Never took an interest in your grandchildren. Was it really pigment, or was it something different? Or was it sickness? Either way, Ma, you missed it. Listen, I ain't here to throw shots you can't defend. I ain't here to fight battles too late to win. I just want to heal, let the new games begin. Purge 38 years, let the new days begin. Yeah. But I gotta give credit where credit was due. The truth is you did the best you could do. I said I gotta give credit where credit is due. So I dedicate this album to you. Yeah, gotta give credit where credit was due. The truth is you did the best you could do. I said I gotta give credit where credit was due. So I dedicate this album to you. Something old, something new.
Wow.
Yeah. Some stuff I can't even write, man. I just gotta say it. Mama, you died last year, but the truth is I lost you a long time ago. And I've come to realize recently that it's not the fact that you died that hurts me the most. What hurts the most is you died before we could make it right.
Oh, wow.
It's the loss of that possibility. I always assumed that maybe in your old age you would soften it. Things would work out, that we'd be close again. I always thought I'd get to say goodbye. See, our story is so rich and the end is so bitter. It wasn't supposed to be like this. But I want the universe to know that I understand. It wasn't you, not the real you. You were just a hurt person. And hurt people hurt people. And I know you're gonna hear this wherever you are now, so mama, I forgive you. And I hope you forgive me. I'm happy you're not living in pain anymore. I pray you found peace. And I know you're with Daddy, and that's what you always wanted. See, I was bitter just like you. I was mad at the world just like you. I felt I got a dealt a raw deal just like you. And the reason why we are the way we are is because we are the same.
Wow.
But I'm not gonna do the same things you did. I'm gonna learn from you. I'm gonna be a better me for my babies. And the good things you did put in me are still here. And I'm gonna put them into your grandchildren. And if I never said it before, I know now how hard it was, because it's been hard for me too. It took me growing up to understand, but I understand. I could never say these things to you while you were here, because we could never get far enough in a conversation without fighting. But I can say them now. I love you, Mama.
Wow. That is a tearjerker, brother.
Yes, that's the last one on the album. So when you talk about, writing, writing a song for my mom, like, it's not that, and I told Casino this yesterday, actually. I was like, it's not that I decided to write a song for my mom or an album for my mom. It's that the way I was feeling, that happened. How do I put it? It's like, it wasn't like, it's backwards. It's like, instead of me deciding to write about this is all I could write about. Like, when it happened, like, it was, I needed to say those things.
Right,
those things needed to be said. So that, yeah, it wasn't like a decision. It was something I had to do, man, because it was tough, man. It's been, let's see, I dropped the album Friday, so that was the 8th. So it's been 10 months. I dropped that album 10 months to the day from the day she passed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bro, that is the thing I get from it is that you said something about, was it the pigment? Do you have biracial children?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 daughters.
Yeah, so do I, yeah. How do you think, well, in today's world, it's kind of, a different time than probably when your mother and my mother were growing up.
Yeah.
But, wow, I'm lost for words, man. Wow. That song hits my heart with your struggle, but you said that you guys didn't get to say goodbye.
Yeah.
You didn't make it up. So, I mean, you weren't able to. So let me look in the screen and tell people, I have a Do It Today series on my podcast. The reason I say that, I once heard a Muslim brother say, your problem is that you think you have time. No one is guaranteed tomorrow. My suggestion, and you could probably say this to your children now, you tell them you love them and stuff, tell the people you love them. Wouldn't it be great, brother? Let me ask you this. If while one of our loved ones was struggling, we all did the funeral before the funeral, meaning, what do you spend at a funeral? Everybody gets shirts, they get dressed up, they fly in, they spend a lot of money. A lot of love and attention goes to people after they pass. I wish we can do that while we're living. And in studio, if I may share, my brother right here, you're my hero. Wally is my hero. This man beat cancer. And, he's just a hero to me, and can't wait to interview him. The things that he and I went through, or let me say, the things that he went through would take most people out. The travels that he and I did back in the day, foaming at the mouth. We up in the hood, Benton Harbor, Michigan, with all the gangsters with blood raw. Remember, you and I were still at the club, and they had to come back and get us because they're like, "Oh, y'all are in a dangerous spot." I mean, we said we live in Trey 4. We good anywhere. We love people. Texas for Afia Siddiqui. We drove, brother, 17 hours straight. California. We've been everywhere in the car.
Wow,
that's my brother. I want to give him his flowers while we can give each other our flowers, because we don't know, to be honest, we don't know when our time is. To your babies, right here, what would you say to your babies right now? How old are they, and what would you say to them if they can watch this?
Well, I love you because I show you with my actions. Lead with your heart. Leave pride at home. Understand that the most valuable things in this world are not material, and they're the things that you take for granted right now. I tell them this all the time. The things that you experience, just little things like riding in the car together, listening to a song, or going and doing certain things we do, just little things that we do. Like, soak that in and love it now, because there will come a day when I'm not here anymore and your mom's not here anymore, and you will think back on those times. That will be what you hold on to for the rest of your life. See, my mom and I did not see eye to eye on a lot of things for a long time. But the thing is that, when I was younger, like, I'd say up till I was probably in my mid-teenage years, like, I have tons and tons and tons of great memories of us then, and that's what I celebrate her as a person, because, regardless of what our differences were, like, she didn't have it easy either. She was a widow. Wow. My dad died when I was a kid.
Wow. I'm sorry.
I mean, like 2 or 3 years old. So it's like,
that's hard.
Yeah, man. Just me and her.
In that one song that I heard, the first song that you sent me, you said, or was it that song? My memory's terrible. You said 2 to 3 jobs.
No, I worked.
No, you said that your mom.
Oh yeah, my mom. Yeah, she would work, man. So she worked for UPS. She would work. That was one of her jobs. That was her main job. But then she would work at Simo's Barbecue in Winston. I don't know if you remember when Simo's Barbecue was in Winston. Do you remember that on Indiana?
No, I don't. But she worked 2 jobs. One was a barbecue UPS. That's totally different.
Yeah, and then she would also like sing at different places, like on the weekends, because people that she, did music with, in the country music stuff around like Lexington and Winston and stuff. But I mean, that was years after she had like really done it big, like back in the day. This was like in the later years.
Right.
But she was doing that. I mean, she was a hustler. Like, she whatever it took to take care of everybody. Me and her and what she was trying to do, she did it. I mean, she was a hard worker.
Are you a single child?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Only child. Yeah.
Only child. Wow, that even hits hard. And mama's grinding. We give a shout out to the mothers. There's a saying in the tradition of Islam that paradise is at the feet of the mothers, right? So the woman, paradise lies at the feet of our mothers. Shout out to our mothers. Look at my people trying to call me from Washington State. Look at this. We're going to hold up on them. That's what I love about these interviews, man. If we run businesses, we're family, man. It's not like back in the day TV. Cut, action, 3. It's just all real deal. Taking us out, we'll be finishing the next few minutes, next few questions. We got to get you back, man. This brother is a book, brother. He is a library. He is a resource and wealth of information. Not only are you talented, man, I think you have a good soul. Who are you really? Who is Chase Elliot really? Who is the soul of you? Not what people see. Could you describe us who you really are?
I am a creative kid trapped in a man's body.
Baby, you hear this? Okay. You care to elaborate? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the best way I would describe it. But I'm also a very, I feel things deeper, I think, than a lot of people. I'm not going to say a lot of people. I don't know how, but things land on me and stay longer, if that makes sense.
So you're empath?
To some degree, yeah. I mean, it just depends on what it is. Like, I don't just get over stuff quick. I mean, some things, obviously, but, like a lot of times, like, I go on in life and I do normal stuff and I'm normal, but, like, it's always in the back of my mind, like, just something could happen and it's like, man, like, just reflect. I'm a reflector. And I'm I am also a wealth of useless knowledge, but also
it's probably great knowledge. Yeah.
I wouldn't call myself a rap historian, but like I can tell you a weird amount of details about rap connected things.
Okay, give me a fact that most people wouldn't know about in rap history that you might know about.
I don't know about it. It's not that they wouldn't know. It's just the amount of it that I know.
Okay.
So it's like, do
you remember how many original members there were to the Wu-Tang?
I can name them all off the top of my head.
Go ahead, brother.
You got RZA, Jizza, Old Dirty Bastard, Inspector Det, Raekwon the Chef, Method Man, Ghostface Killer, Master Killer, You God, and Capadonna. Does he count?
Yeah, why not?
Now he does.
Yeah, listen, golly. All right. Okay, let me ask you this. I'm gonna say the name of a song, and you tell me the artist. Gotta Let Your Nuts Hang.
Is that from the 80s?
What year were you born?
83.
Okay, that was Scarface. We better give him a break.
Okay.
Gotta Let a Hoe Be a Hoe.
Too short.
Close. Willie D.
Okay.
Yo, but Willie D. Listen, I was listening to
Scarface.
Go.
I don't mean
No. I'm an old man. Okay, let's go. Let's go 90.
Go 93 to now.
Okay, you'll blow me away because I don't know none of them. Okay, let's say Tales of Two Cities.
J. Cole.
You just did that today.
Yeah.
Listen, man. We're gonna have to have him on as a guest, right? And he'll just come through and rock out the information. Is there anything you'd love to say to people about your album in closing right here? Oh, wait, not closing. Closing the interview, but we got to put him in the chamber. We got to get him over there in front of that mic. Yes, sir.
Yeah, just listen to the album. It's available everywhere. all streaming platforms, wherever you get music from, YouTube, Apple Music, Amazon, Tidal, Spotify, all that. It's there. Chase Elliot, that's 2 L's, 2 T's, Elliott. Still Standing is the album. And it is by far the best body of work I've ever made. It is the album that defines me. It is my Illmatic. It is my Marshall Mathers LP.
Wow.
This is the one. If you ever wanted to listen to anything I ever made, please listen to this one.
Brother, it's been an honor having you on. Wally, I think what we'll do, I love you, brother. You family now.
Thank you.
You are family.
Nice meeting
Rest in peace to your mother.
Yeah.
This is a tribute. Our mothers would be proud of us. Peace and blessings. Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, man.
Heartbroken, got the bars flowing. Back to dart throwing, heavy load with no tarp on it. It's hard knowing what the future holds. Stare up at the stars, arms folded. Whatever God's got going on, hell if I know it. It's mind blowing the rate at which time's going by. Every year somebody close dies. I'm asking why, Lord. Couldn't you give them just 25 more? Selfish pride robbed my ass blind. Just keep your eyes forward. Like there's a prize for you. For a decade I had to grind for it. Most of what I got, somebody died for it. And I'm grateful to have it, it just ain't how I want it. Mama, I know you said not to cry for you, but the more my mind wanders, makes my eyes water. My biggest fear was some shit like this. But even back when you was here, it used to feel like this. But it takes pain to make me spit like this. You know I'm about to give you flames when I get like this. Cause even when I find closure, it's never over. How much more will I take till I break? I'm getting closer. How much more can I take till I break? Every day I'm getting closer and closer. Closer than all. How much more can I take till I break? Every day I never intended to wear my welcome out, but for every hit I took I had to belt one out. Just to level out, I got so much to tell about. Cause if I held it all in me, I'd be in hell by now. Selling out is for those that's about the money, but I don't do it for currency. It's more like therapy, I could use a case of emergency. It takes a lot of words for me to purge, for me to hurt me. So when you get a verse from me, I deliver it surgically. Crafted with care and precision, like a careful decision. Unaware of my brilliancy and unbearable vision. Stuck in a terrible situation, I stared in the darkness, seeking a flare in the distance. Scared and intimidated, my fear turned to fury. Then the vision got blurry, still I see the shit clearly. I ain't leaving here, cause this isn't a river dare cheat. It's a minute of clarity, the beginning of everything. How much more will I take till I break? Every day I'm getting How much more will I take till I break? Every day I'm getting